Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. This is your host, ID Jester, and as you can see, I'm in the middle of a Civilization 5 game. In fact, I've been playing a little bit of Civilization 5 multiplayer recently with a good friend of mine. He's having a little bit of trouble with the interface and understanding how to get information, so I thought I'd create a little video for him so that he could understand how to use the interface for Civ 5, and hopefully other people out there might be interested in checking this video out and maybe getting some understanding of how to play Civ 5. This isn't going to be a let's play, or it's not going to be a video on strategies or tactics or whatever to play Civilization 5. This is basically just going to be an interface overview, how to click on information, etc., etc., etc. And kind of understanding the whole process. I don't think there's really a right way or a wrong way to play Civilization 5. I think all of your resources are very, very important. You have research, which is very important. Obviously, the higher and the faster you can research things, the better units, the better, the quicker you can get things. So obviously having a high research is really good. Money obviously is very important. Having high income is very important. You can buy units, you can buy buildings. Happiness is going to be very important as well. When your people are happy, they're producing lots of good things for you. If they're unhappy, then you're not going to get your production. You have your culture, which could be very important. And you have your faith, which could be very important. I think all of these are very important. So if you focus in on one, like culture, does that mean you're playing it wrong? No, I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way to really play it. It's Civilization 5 is basically a game where you have to figure out the best way to use your resources to get the job done. In this case, I am Austria here. I started here in the kind of in the middle of this island. I was expanding out, and as I expanded out here, I was adjacent to the Iroquois Indians. The Iroquois Indians were very aggravated that I kept expanding out towards their territory, and they threatened me with war. So I kind of had a choice. Well, I can either go to war with them, or I can kind of just play by their rules and say, okay, I won't expand out that way, I'll go another way. Or I could try to find a way to defeat the Iroquois Indians. And there's multiple thousands of different ways that possibly to do this. Militarily, I could just build a huge military and just try to overrun them with a whole bunch of crappy units. I could try to improve my research and research really quickly to get up some new powerful units that they couldn't handle and try to defeat them that way. I could try to send in spies and corrupt them and spread my culture in, and all sorts of different aspects of trying to figure out a way to get the job done. And that's basically what Civilization 5 is. I don't think there's a right way, and I don't think there's a wrong way to do everything. It's just basically using what you have to the best of your abilities and using all of your different resources to try and figure out the best way to get the job done. So basically what I did was I researched really well. I had a couple units that were a few ages farther along in the tech tree than they were able to, and I was able to easily defeat them. In fact, they have one city left, and you can see I've now surrounded their city with my units. I've got a couple composite bowmen here. I've got a horseman. I've got two swordsmen. He's got nothing left in his city. I'm debating whether or not just to go in there and wipe him out, but that's another story for another day. Okay, so back to the importance of the interface. I like to play with, if we go down into the bottom right hand corner, you can toggle this on and off, resource icons on and off. You'll see that they pop up. You don't have to play with these all the time. I just find it easier because these aren't too distracting to me, and I don't have a problem with them being on the map, and even when I'm zoomed in or zoomed out. So I like playing with them on, and it shows me quickly and easily what is what area. So why are these so important in the game, and etc., etc. Well, if you click on them or hover your mouse over them, it'll just show you what's important about them here. Okay, wheat, when worked by a city, provide you with +1 food. Horses, when worked by a city, give you +1 production. Marble will give you extra gold and extra happiness. Incense, when going to give you happiness and also gold as well. What's this mean by being worked? Well, this is kind of understanding Civilization 5 and the city building part of it. There's city building part of it, there's military building part of it, and there's kind of diplomacy part of it. So there's a lot of different aspects that go into this game. It's not just a war game. It's a all-around civilization management game where you have to manage your resources, you have to manage your cities, you have to manage your military, you have to manage your diplomatic relationships with everybody. Before we click on our city and figure out all that, let's talk about just looking at the city name here. You can see you got the city name. Above the city name gives you a city combat strength. So the city can kind of defend itself from other units. On the left hand side, it shows you how many turns it's going to be at your current rate before it'll advance to the next level. And on the right hand side, it'll show you a unit you're producing and how many turns it'll take before that unit's done. So I can quickly scan through my thing, and I can see it's going to be 21 turns, 8 turns, 1 turn, 4 turns, and 14 turns. So I know that next turn this unit will be done, whatever it's building. I can see it's going to be 3 turns, 8 turns, 7, 2, 5, and 1 turn before these guys upgrade to the next level. So quickly and easily I can see that information on my screen if I zoom in or zoom out. The star also means that it's my capital. But let's get into the heart of it here and understanding kind of the city building part of it. If I click in on my city, I have got 8 citizens in this city right now, and you can see that it's stagnant because I'm not gaining any food and I'm not losing any food. And you might be saying to yourself, well, how the heck can you not be gaining food? You got all this food you're gaining. Well, the thing to keep in mind is I have 8 citizens, and each citizen takes 2 food to feed. So I need 16 food just to keep those guys fed and alive. Anything else will make the city grow bigger. Anything less than that, these people will starve and they'll grow less. So at this current situation, I've got 8 citizens, 16 food, so I've got 16 food in my tiles that are being worked. So what does that mean, tiles being worked? Well, the tiles being worked means I have 8 citizens, and each citizen can go out within my area of influence and pick a tile, and whatever resources on that tile he will bring to the city each turn. So for example, if we were to look at this tile here, it's got 1 apple and 1 hammer. That's 1 food. That's 1 production. So if I work this tile, it's going to give me 1 food and 1 production each turn. You can see that's not too good. It's only 2 things total. If we look at this hex here, you can see that this has 4 food and it's got 1 production. So this is a much better tile. And the reason this is a much better tile is because it had, if we go back to our map here, you can see it has a wheat icon on it. And I've also produced a farm on this. In fact, if you click on the hex, it's going to show you right over here, right where my mouse is, it's going to tell you all about that hex. It's got wheat and it's got a farm. And it's a plain. So it started with the wheat, and I made it better by using a worker, and I put a farm on it, and it shows me the total is a 4 food and 1 production. Alright, let's zoom again. So I have 8 citizens that are working tiles around my city, and you can see that each of the tiles within my boundaries have a little, I like to call them a little coin above them, And there's some that are green, and there's some that are black. And the green coins are the ones that are being worked by my citizens. In fact, if you count up all the green coins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 green coins which match each of my citizens. So each of these guys are running around outside my capital here, and they're producing food, production, gold, science, faith, and culture. And each of these numbers is going to add up each turn, and it's going to produce that much food, that much production, that much gold, that much science. In your right-hand corner of your screen, you should see something. Maybe it might be condensed down in here, but you can also expand them by just hitting the plus signs as well. And these are going to give you an overview of what's in that city. And you can see any wonders that are placed in that city. You can see I have a palace, the Great Library, the pyramids, the Mausoleum of Hakaterius, whatever, on there. And you can just mouse over and get all the information about these guys. You can also see your normal buildings. I have a granary on there. Granary is going to give me +2 food, and it's also going to give me a bonus for each source of wheat, bananas, and deer worked by this city. It's going to produce 1 extra food each turn. So by building this granary, I know that I've got wheat in these 2 hexes. See the wheat? Wheat. I know that I'm going to get another bonus for my wheat being in that hex of an extra food. Not only am I going to get that, but if you look under granary, it costs 60 hammers. So it's going to cost me 60 hammers total. And if you look in the top left-hand corner of my screen right now, you can see I'm producing 30 hammers each turn. So it would take me 2 turns to build this granary because I need 60 hammers. I'm producing 30 hammers. I could produce this in 2 turns, and it would be done. It has a maintenance cost in gold. It costs me 1 maintenance. So each building you use or build, some of them might have a maintenance cost. You have to keep that in mind when you're trying to decide if you should build buildings, if you're gaining lots of money or not gaining lots of money, etc. And of course, it gives me +2 food. So I'm getting 2 food for the granary. I'm getting an extra 1 food for the wheat. I also have a library, which gives me +1 science for every 2 citizens in this city. How many citizens do I have? 8. I have 8 citizens. So I'm getting +4. I'm getting +4 beakers or science for every 2 citizens. So I'm getting +4 science. I also have a monument in here. It gives me +2 culture. So that's part of how your culture goes up, is by building certain buildings. In this case, it's the monument. It does have a maintenance cost of 1. It speeds the growth of the city's territory and the civilization's acquisitions of social policies. So, yes, all these information there on the right-hand side. So if you see where your citizens are working, you can kind of see that you can find out by improving and using your workers, you can improve the territory around your city. But maybe I decide I really want this city, for whatever reason, I really want it to focus on going food. I want it to get even bigger than it already is. I want it to keep growing. So I wanted to focus in on food. Well, I can click on different icons, which we'll do here in a minute. But the easier way is to come over here on the right-hand side, and you can actually tell it what to focus in on. So I could tell it, okay, I want to focus in on food, or I want to focus in on production, or I want to focus on gold or science, culture, great persons, faith, etc., etc. And the other important one is you can tell it, okay, I don't want you to get any bigger than you are because I can't feed you, so don't get bigger. And there's other things that come into play. The more people you have in your cities, the more cities you have, that brings, you can see under your happiness rating over here. If you look under, I'm getting 43 total unhappiness. Unhappiness is not generated by number of cities you have, and also generated by your population. So of course, the bigger you are, The unhappy everybody else is because you're all fighting over the same jobs and the same food and everything else. So you have to take that into consideration. So you might want to say, you know what, I want this guy to be at size 8, but I don't want it to get any bigger. You can just say, okay, avoid growth. You just click that button, and it won't grow up any farther. And in that case, you want your food at 0, and you don't want your guys to be working territories to get you extra food, because it's not going to do you anything good. But you can focus in on food, production, gold, science, culture, whatever you wanted to. And you can just basically just click around on these different ones and see how it affects your numbers over here. And this situation is kind of weird because I've got like 3 or 4 really good tiles around my city, and I've got nothing but crap. So I've got a 2, what I call a 2 tile. It's just has 2 resources on it. I have a 2 resource, 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 I have a 2 resource. And then I've got these great tiles that I've got, which have got 5, 5, 6. I don't even know what the gold is worth on this thing. It is worth 1 food, 2 production, and 5 gold. So that's a tile that's worth 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's worth 11 on this tile. And then I got a 2, a 2, and a 4 over there. So obviously, no matter what I click on, my citizens are going to work the best tiles, and the ones that are working are basically the ones that they're gonna work those 8 tiles no matter what. If we look at a different situation, like say, let's look at this guy down here. This might be a better situation. All right, so again, we can click on default. You can see that I'm getting 4 food here, 4.2 production, 0.301. If we go for food, oh, okay, food doesn't change the numbers, but if we go to production, you can see that all of a sudden my food goes down, but my production goes up. And basically what happened is the computer switches. It's switching the guys that are working and saying, okay, if you want to focus on production, I'll get you more hammers. And if I get you more hammers, then you might lose out on other things. So in this case, I'm trading hammers. I'm trading food in for more hammers in this case. So you can tell it what to focus in on. If you really need something built really quickly, you want to focus in on production. Of course, if you focus in on food, then your city will grow faster, and you'll get more guys out there to work more tiles. So when this goes up to 4 citizens, instead of working 1, 2, 3 tiles, I'm going to actually get to work 4 tiles. And I'm not sure why they're not working this tile. This one looks to be really good. Let's see if I go back to default what it says. This current tile is not currently being worked. Why is that not being worked? It's going to be worth 4 happiness and 2 gold. So you can click on these, obviously, like I was just showing you. The other way you can do it is just leave it on default and let it manage itself. But you can also click on tiles and say, yes, do this one. So for example, I want this tile to be worked no matter what. I can click on it and you can see it locks it in. The guy that was working over here on the 2 apples ran over here and is now working this tile. And you can see that it made a big, let's see, did it make a big difference here? Yes, it makes a big difference. Okay, I don't want this. Go away. Alright, so it's either on, which is green, off, which is black, or locked in, which has got the little lock. So no matter what I choose here, production, gold, science, or anything else, this tile is always going to be worked. And I want this tile to be worked because it's worth 2 gold and 2 hammers. And that's what I want from this city. I don't really care about anything else. But you can see what's happened here. If I go to culture, I'm going to be getting extra culture, but I'm going to lose out in food. So you have to be careful what you're doing. If I go back to default here, let's return to the map and then come back in. Zoom back in here. If I go back to default, oh, okay, I know why it's not being worked. The reason it's not being worked is I don't have enough food for my 3 citizens. I only have 5 food this way. I have 1, 2, 3 apples. Oops, 1, 2, 3 apples here. and I have no apples over here. So my guys are starving to death. That's why. Okay, if I turn that off, we're going to bring back in the apples here. That's worth 3 apples. Where's my third citizen? 1, 2. I don't want it locked. I just want it to be unemployed citizens. Yeah. I want you here and I want you here. Okay. So you can see now I've got my 3 people working. I'm not sure why they weren't all there. 2 food, so it's going to go up to the next citizen here in 9 turns. And you can also buy other tiles by clicking on buy tiles. So let's see. Here we got stone. And you can see over here I could buy this tile here, but it's in somebody else's territory right now until I kill that guy off anyways. Then I can buy the stone and start working the stone. So you can see you got really good tiles. This is where workers come in. They're kind of important because right here I got 2 apples or 2 food. If I put a farm on there, I'll get 3 food. So it'll be better to work this tile once I get a worker to put a farm on it. And other buildings are going to give you different bonuses on your different tiles. So let's look at Salzburg here and see what Salzburg's up to. Alright, so Salzburg's 7 citizens. It's going to go up a level in 5 turns. If we look at our 7 here, if we go to default, you can see food production. I can go up to 5 food production, but it's going to drop my production and gold by a little bit. I can focus in on production. I can focus in on gold. That's going to drop my production for gold. So lots of different variants based on what you need from your cities at the time. So that's how you adjust everything. You should see little icons. In fact, you might be able to see that a little bit better if I turn the resource icons off when I do that. Now you should see, if I zoom way out, you should see nothing but the little circles. If you don't see circles, I know my friend was telling me yesterday he didn't see the little circles for the production. So I'm not sure what he was doing, but this is what you should see. You should see the little circles. And again, over here, this is the best way to kind of manage it. And you know, I could say, oh yeah, work this one over here because it's got a mine on whatever this is, gems or whatever it is. That's why I like having these resource icons on, because it's easy for me to see. Oh, it's diamonds, or no, it is gems. So why isn't it not producing that one? This tile is not currently being worked. I don't. I definitely want that to be worked. Oh, it drops my food way down, but look at my production went up. My gold went up. It's also a 6x tile. So sometimes you got to get in here and actually, here's another one is 6x. We definitely want that to be worked. So I'm going to lock that one in as well. Definitely want those 2 because that's 3 production and 3 gold and 3 production and 3 gold right off the bat. So that's why these strategic resources are so important. I leave them on at all times because not only that, but you'll see my happiness next turn go up because now that this tile is being worked, I'm going to get +4 happiness there, and I'm going to get +4 happiness for my silver. Now it's going to take this city a lot longer to go up in level. It's going to 7 turns as opposed to 5 turns, but I'll rather have the other couple turns and get more money and more production out of it. So sometimes you have to manually. Let's look at this city here and see what it's doing here. It's only 2 citizens, so 1 hex it's working is the food hex. So 2 apples and a hammer, and this one's 2 apples and a hammer. But this is also the city I conquered from the enemy, one of them anyways. And so they're all bent out of shape because they're mad at me because I came in and conquered them. So I could actually just raise the city and get rid of it, which might, well, it'll make my people happy because I'm generating 7.5 unhappiness from occupied cities and 3.01 from population in occupied cities. So until these cities become happy that they're being ruled by the great culture of Austria, they're going to be causing my unhappiness to go down. Okay, interface-wise, yes, I'm glad these guys have popped up. So you got your information about your unit down here in the bottom left-hand corner. One of the things I figured out yesterday gives you some information about the unit here with little icons, and it'll also give you some information. I was playing a culture I hadn't played before, and I finally figured out I couldn't figure out what some of the bonuses I was getting from, and these little icons here actually showed it to me. But you also have different attack modes and defend modes you can put them in. There's also a icon down at the bottom that'll reveal some extra options, and this is going to be your automated explore button, depending on the unit, and your delete this unit just kills it, get rid of it. Your units do gain health back when they're inside your territory, and I believe they gain health back even further if they're inside a city. So that's something to keep track of, militarily wise. So, you know, now that I've kind of seen what's going on and just broad overview, I have, what are these guys? Ethiopia is down here in the bottom of my, the bottom of the landmass there. So I have to look at, well, do I want to take this guy on? Is it worth it to me? Is he causing me problems? Is he friendly with me? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's say I decide I want to fight this guy and get rid of him. Then there's different options I have. I can try to look at what units he's got. Let's see what he's got here. He just looks like he's got a regular warrior unit there. So he's probably, you know, maybe not as technologically advanced as I am. I've got swordsmen right now. So I probably could beat him in a fight, but all my warriors are way over here. I'm going to have to wait to bring them around this way, and so the current situation is right now I'm just kind of going to play it by ear and see what happens, and see how things go. Now, with that said, the other thing you should keep in mind is all your race bonus. You should try to focus in on your race bonus. For Austria, my race bonus is actually, I can, once I'm allied with a city-state, I can actually declare diplomatic marriage with them and basically take over that city-state without having to fight them, and I get all their units, or I can make them a puppet for a certain amount of gold. I think it was 500. It says 530, but I think it was supposed to be 500. Maybe that 530 is, I don't know, tax or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you have to be allied with them for a number of turns, but I don't have the 530 gold pieces, so probably 714, you know, like 2 turns, I'm going to try to declare a diplomatic marriage to Milan up here, and they've got this city, which is a 5. It's on the ocean. They got a couple units. I'll get all this. I don't have to go to war with them. I don't have to fight them. I don't have to threaten them. I don't have to bribe them. I don't have to do anything other than use my race bonus. So that's what all of Civilization 5 is about, using all of your bonuses. We haven't even talked about culture. You know, why should you care about culture? Well, some people, you know, the more culture you have, great. Well, what does it do for me? Culture basically gives you special bonuses for your civilization. Well, why should I care about faith? Well, faith does the same thing. My religion here, I created my own religion, and one of the things it did, because I had enough faith, was able to actually go in and create a bonus for my religion. In this case, we are the gods of craftsmen. I get +1 production in cities with population of 3 or more. And you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities with the production city of 3 or higher. So I'm getting 5 free hammers every turn just by having enough faith. So you might not have focused in on faith. You might have focused in on something else that could have given you bonuses. So it all kind of intertwines together. I'm not saying that one thing is more important than the other. I'm just saying that all your resources are important one way or another. You can win by just focusing in on research, not building any military whatsoever. You can win by just, focusing in on military and building units every single time. But you have to think about what it's going to do for you. I mean, this city here, you can see by all these bonuses that I have given it. The granary, I'm getting bonuses. I'm getting the library bonus, which is giving me science. I'm getting the culture bonuses. Instead of building all these buildings inside my city, I could have just kept going in and producing, warriors and spearmen, and swordsmen and catapults and all that stuff, and just going to war with everybody. But the problem is, if you just create nothing but military units, then you never improve. You don't focus in and get all those bonuses we talked about, like social policies. You don't get your bonuses from all the different. No, I don't want to sell this building. No, all your different bonuses from your buildings. So you have to kind of, you have to kind of manage what you're doing and figure out the best way to accomplish it. It's going to be a matter of understanding where your current situation. I'm not being threatened by anybody right now, so military for me isn't that important. I'm going to take this guy over with my marriage. I think I'll just wax this guy off. Then the only person left on my island is this guy, and then I have to just figure out the best way to get rid of this guy. Is the best way just to go to war? Do I need something down here at all from him, or would I be better served to just stop building military and start focusing on making my civilization stronger by getting more culture, more faith, more science? So when we start meeting some of the other people that are on some of the other planets or some of the other islands, so you have to think, am I going to get something by fighting this guy? Can he come up and try to take over my city? He could definitely try, but because I've got so much ahead of him, my culture is so much farther ahead. I don't think he's more scared of me than I am of him. So you got to think about these things and figure out whether it's going to help you in the long run. I could have these little skirmishes with the Iroquois Indians. I didn't want to spend the whole game just fighting with him back and forth. So it was a matter of either, okay, you have over here and I'll have over here, or I'm going to do something to get rid of you. And I'm not going to just willy-nilly it and keep fighting with you with all my units. So that's kind of the interface, though. I'm not sure if we talked about the top left-hand corner, but you can put up here research. You can put up here your unit list by just clicking on this icon. Your cities, your resources. All your resources are going to make your people happy if they're luxury resources. Your strategic resources are things you're going to use to produce units, so you got to have those. And of course, you have your bonus resources, which are going to give you either money or happiness or whatever, blah, blah, or not happiness, money or culture or science or whatever, cattle. So you can figure out what you have, what you need. Being friends with different city-states are going to give you different bonuses. If we look at our city-states up here in the top right-hand corner, you're going to see your country. You're going to see the civilizations you know about. And you're going to see all of the city-states you know about. If it's blue, that means you're allied with them. If it's green, that means you're happy with them. It tells you what they are known for. In this case, they're cultured. They're giving us, every turn, they're giving us incense. And what else did they give us? I thought they gave us something else. Oh, they have quests. They want you to demand tribute from Uhasa. So they want us to demand tribute from Uhasa. I'm not sure I even know Uhasa. I don't. So obviously I can complete that. Some of them might want, this one here wants a great prophet. So if you have a great prophet, they're going to become more friendly with you. So having friends with city-states, you're going to get bonuses here. They're going to give you resources of gems, all sorts of different things. So it's definitely a little bit of this and a little bit of that is what I find in this game. A little bit of war, a little bit of city management, a little bit of tactical strategies, some strategic strategies, some diplomacy, some of this, a lot of just a whole bunch of things that work together. A little bit of culture, a little bit of faith. Doesn't mean you can't win by just focusing in on one thing. It just makes it easier for you if you have strong economy. Will build a strong military, which will build a strong military will help build strong culture, because your cities will be stronger and expand out. Your strong culture and your strong military will give you strong faith. Your strong faith and your strong culture will give you strong money. Your strong money and your strong culture will give you strong science. So, I mean, they all kind of work interchangeably to help one another. So, that's my overview of Civ 5. Mostly I was supposed to be talking about interfacing stuff and showing how things should look inside menus and what you should look for when you're clicking on menus. But you can definitely see playing with the resources makes it a little bit easier. I can see over here I'm going to get a bonus on wheat. Here, marble, incense, wheat. Definitely when you're going to decide where you want to put your settlers, definitely you want to look around and see what resources are there. Alright, well, there you go. Civ 5 Strategic Tactical Interface Overview. Hopefully it was helpful, and I will be playing it some more. And hopefully I didn't give my playing partner too much good advice, because I don't need him destroying me and kicking my ass like he normally does. So, alright, that's it. Later.